5 minutes, 30 seconds past the hour. 30 seconds to live.
This is Online Tonight.
Online Tonight is live and on the air at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online Tonight.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
All right, welcome to Online Tonight on this wonderful Tech Pop Culture More Wednesday. My name is Max Smart. This is episode number 2105 of Online Tonight, where we talk about the latest in tech, pop culture, and more. More for me is pretty much anything but politics, so theme parks, video games, pets, movies, TV, 3D printers, sublimation, mugs, hats, shirts. No, I'm kidding. Coming up this hour, of course, we've got our Geek Speak, our Bookmark This, plus some big changes at Apple. Tech that will help you play better, or at all. And our review of Devil Wears Prada 2, which will be in theaters this Friday. But more importantly, I'm here to make your life easier when it comes to dealing with those everyday tech products. I want to answer your questions. I want to help you make your technology fun, exciting, and entertaining, as opposed to a gigantic pain in the frustration. Yeah, that's the word we're going to use. So feel free to give me a call. There's a lot of different ways to get into the show, but the absolute best way so we can have a conversation is using the Broadcast Bionics Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546 is the toll-free telephone number. Always have follow-up questions, so that's what you want to use. You can also send me an email, show@onlinetonight.com, and you can use the text voicemail number, which is 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. 951-395-1017 is the text voicemail number. Victoria's producing the show, answering your calls, checking for all your messages on all the different platforms. Before we get started, this portion of the show is brought to you by Paramount Plus. The streamer has become a serious contender in sports. And this month, they have added the UFC, the EFL, the UEFA, and the UFC. Those are all available, by the way, on the basic plan, the basic streaming plan. But if you have the pro plan, you're also going to get the PGA and the NCAA. You can find out all about Paramount Plus by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/stream, onlinetonight.com/stream. And, of course, the show is also brought to you by my new line of pirate-themed merchandise. Go to onlinetonight.com/store to check out the 3 new T-shirts that are available there. Let's jump into a little bit of Apple news. A lot of changes going on over there. Tim Cook, who is the current CEO, if you remember, he took over Steve Jobs' position. So Steve was the interim CEO when they acquired Next, and they fired Gil. And then Steve Jobs became the official CEO. Then he had some health problems. And then Tim Cook became the CEO. And now he will be done as of September. He has been the CEO since 2011. So a nice long run. They're going to replace him with John. And I always am afraid to say Tyrannus's name wrong. I just usually say John. But I think it's Tyrannus. Ternus. He will become
I
this
think it's just Turnus.
Turnus. All right. He will become the CEO September 1st of 2026. So just a couple more months. Gives Tim Cook a few more little presentations that he gets to do, like the Worldwide Developer Conference. By the way, Tim Cook will be moving to the executive chairman. In that new role, he will help the company through like board meetings. So company matters, global policy engagement. So he'll still have his finger in the pie, so to speak. Cook called leading Apple one of his greatest privileges of his life and said that John was absolutely the correct successor. John expressed optimism about Apple's future and emphasized continuity of the mission and its values. Arthur Levinson, in case you don't know who that is, will move to become the lead independent director because I think Tim Cook is taking that executive director spot. And Tim Cook sent out this letter about how, he was, his thoughts on the transition, and it just went out to Apple employees. Somehow the press got a hold of it. In the letter, he reflected on his daily message from users and expressed deep gratitude for their stories and experiences. He highlighted how Apple products have impacted people's lives from health to creativity and work. The new CEO, John, of course, was praised as an ideal successor with strong leadership, integrity, and product vision. Tim Cook emphasized confidence in John's ability to lead Apple for future growth and innovation. One of the things I thought was interesting was Tim Cook went and had an interview with somebody. It was like 60 Minutes or some news organization. And not a lot of CEOs will admit when they have issues or when they've, messed up. But Tim Cook said that the 2012 launch of Apple Maps was probably his biggest mistake while the CEO of Apple. So I just thought that was very interesting that he was humble enough or whatever to decide that. I know if some people would say that AntennaGate with the iPhones back when Steve Jobs was around might have been one of his biggest mistakes, but Tim opted to this one and said, there was some incorrect data and poor directions, and it was well behind Google Maps. Apple, of course, has admitted that it was not the best, and they've apologized more than one time about Apple Maps. He described the experience as humbling but valuable, reinforcing Apple's focus on user-first experiences.
Hey,
Yes.
speaking of Steve,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to get your take a little bit on legacy because Steve was there. He was CEO for 14 years. Tim has now passed that in his tenure, the total number of years.
Sure.
And Tim has been a completely 180 from management style. I mean, nobody is like Steve Jobs, obviously, but you worked with Steve in 1993 at Next. And then he went back to Apple in 97 and took over as interim CEO and then full-time CEO in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that you're a fan of his and, you were before you ever worked for him. And so I know that his stepping down and then passing was a very kind of a difficult thing. But what do you see comparison-wise between the two, the things that they handled during their tenure?
Oh, they're just different people. They're very different people.
And what do you think Tim Cook's legacy will be? I mean, Steve is known as kind of the visionary. He came out with all these things that had never been done before. And it seems like Tim just kind of took them and took them to their natural fruition.
All right. So you're asking me to compare the two people, Steve Jobs and Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember that Tim Cook worked under Steve Jobs at a certain point. And what was Tim Cook's job? Operations. So Steve Jobs had a vision. He always had, and he was, I don't know what his obsession was with fonts. but he had this thing about just making things beautiful and simple and easy to use for anybody who wanted to use it. Funny enough, though, he would not allow his kids to use half of the devices that Apple made later on in his career. So he wouldn't let them play with the iPod, the iPad, the phones. He would let them use the computers for educational and learning. But some of these other like more consumer stuff, he didn't really do. So Steve, I would say, was more kind of big picture, visionary. Let's do something unexpected that no one's ever done before. Tim Cook, numbers guy. This is why Apple is a $1 trillion company. He understands like how to get things to market quickly at a fair margin. Very different styles. You've got kind of I don't want to call him a bean counter, but you have somebody who's very focused on just logistics and money, and relied on other people to figure out what he should sell. Whereas Steve Jobs was just obsessed in the creative process, and many times fought with engineers to force them to make it better. Or in the case of like the iPhone, he didn't want Apple apps as an example. And people said, look, it'll be way better if you get apps on there. And he finally acquiesced. Anyway, it's online tonight. Stay tuned.
Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift or to complete your own collection? Sumerian Collection offers a wide variety of vintage goods with new items added weekly. Books, collectibles, clothing items, jewelry, gadgets, and gizmos galore. Many items are from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but exclusive finds from earlier time periods become available as well. Rare vintage items include dolls from around the world and foreign language books. Online shopping at Sumerian Collection is a breeze, with Etsy's secure payment processing and shipping to U.S. locations included free with every purchase. Visit SumerianCollection.etsy.com to see what's new and vintage this week. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. Sumerian Collection.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-908-3082. 800-908-3082. 800-908-3082. That's 800-908-3082.
Out here, in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. And sometimes, that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up, you have trouble sleeping, maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is, there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through, or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown. Never let kids' toys take over the house. And never fill your feed with kid photos. You'd never plan your life around their schedule. Never lick your thumb to clean their face. And you'd never let them leave the house looking like less than their best. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it. Never let them stay up too late. And never let them run wild through the grocery store.
Peanuts on aisle 6. And aisle 3.
So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Geek Speak. All right, this hour's Geek Speak, where we take a tech term and turn it into plain English right before your very ears, is QR code. QR code. More on that in just a moment. This portion of the show is powered by Anchor. I'm so excited that Anchor has launched their new Nano wireless car charger. This means that you can charge your phone safely. It's being held securely within view on the new, Chai 2 certified 15-watt wireless charging pad. Plus, the wireless charging pad is detachable. You can take it with you. The charging head rotates, or the thing that holds the charging pad in the area where you can see it. It rotates 360 degrees, tilts 45 degrees. That way you can get the most comfortable viewing angle. You can check out all the great Anchor products by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/anchor, onlinetonight.com/ANKER. Now, QR code, also known as the quick response code. This is a type of barcode. I was actually created to, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's a type of barcode that contains a bunch of matrices of dots. It can be scanned using a QR scanner or a smartphone with its built-in camera. Once scanned, the software converts the dots into numbers or a string of characters. For example, scanning a QR code with your phone might take you to a website or a URL that you can then open in your web browser. All QR codes have a square shape. They're all square, and include 3 square outlines in the bottom left, and top right corners. These square outlines define the orientation of the code, which means you don't even have to take a picture of a QR code at a specific angle. You can actually be rotated, or it could be upside down. The dots within the QR code contain the format and the version number, the version information of how this QR code was created. QR codes have 2 significant benefits over traditional UPCs or barcodes. Since QR codes are 2-dimensional, they can contain significantly more data than a 1-dimensional UPC, while a large format QR code can store up to 4,296 characters. A traditional UPC or barcode can only hold 25 characters. Number 2, they can be scanned from a screen. Standard UPC scanners use a laser to scan those barcodes, which means they typically cannot scan a barcode off of a smartphone or a computer screen or anything like that. That is how come that's why you see ads. Like if you hit pause in Netflix and you get an ad, it'll say, scan this QR code. Because smartphones are smart enough, and the QR code was designed so that you could scan it from things like a display. So there you are. That is this hour's Geek Speak QR code. QR code.
Online tonight.
All right, phone lines are open. 1-800-39-ONLINE using our Broadcast Bionics Caller 1 system. 1-800-396-6546. Don't forget, you can follow me on X and Instagram. I use the same account name on both sites, at Max Smart Radio. That's at Max Smart Radio. Miss Victoria.
We have a text from Claude in New York City. I've been a user of Apple products for many years, and I was looking forward to them putting their own spin on the AI stuff. So it's a little disappointing they've turned it over to Google instead of tweaking Siri themselves. Is this going to just be a copy of what Google's already doing, or is it going to be more acclimated to the Appleverse? Any updates on how that's going and what we'll get?
Well, I appreciate the question, Claude, and I'm going to have to qualify this by saying I don't know anybody in the Siri group. I know people in other groups at Apple, but I don't know anybody at the Siri group. So right now we are speculating. We are going to know exactly what we're going to have in June. But I can tell you the reports that I've read and some of the things that I've seen, and maybe that will make you feel good or not good. If you're actually a Google Gemini user now, especially if you're one of the Pro members or their Ultimate Ultra members, you'll notice that things are not always as smooth as you would like them to be. And that has been a complaint for people, especially when they are paying, especially if you're using, say, anti-gravity or some of these other tools, even Xcode with Gemini. Most people are using Xcode with Claude, by the way. Not your name or anything, but it's another type of AI. Anyway, so the news that's out there that's public that we can talk about is that Google has absolutely confirmed that they are going to be powering Siri with Gemini. Now, the upgrade, as Apple has said, is going to give you a more personalized Siri. Apple is very concerned about the privacy and things like that. So one of the things that I've heard is that Apple's building their own servers, and they will have their own private instance of Gemini. So they will not be relying on the normal data centers where Google is. So that's good. And nobody says that the Siri team aren't working on their own stuff. But for right now, the plan is they're going to use Gemini to power Siri for the foreseeable future. I'm sure that the wonderful engineers at Apple they haven't given up, I would assume. I think they're probably going to be very aggressive about getting their own things. But there's a balance, right? Do we spend a couple $2 billion to create our own foundation model, or do we leverage the infrastructure that we have and we then use someone else's? Apple has acquired a bunch of other companies to make some of the smaller models that do your images and your animation and things like that on device. But for these bigger models, maybe they let someone else spend a couple $2 billion on it, and they just say, okay, well, we're gonna borrow it for a while, and we're gonna offer it to our users under these conditions, which you normally wouldn't have offered them. So we're gonna see a lot more information at WWDC 2026. That starts in June, by the way, like the first or second week of June. We're going to hear all about that. We're going to hear about iOS 27 and all the other things. Might be a couple product announcements, so that would be pretty cool. So hopefully you'll stay tuned like I will. If you're not listening live and you want to submit a question just like Claude did, you can text me at 951-395-1017. You can also email show@onlinetonight.com, show@onlinetonight.com. It's other ways to get in. Of course, you can call the toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE. Very quickly, wanted to talk about Disney sequels. We're going to be talking about a sequel in the next segment, which is also from Fox. So I guess it is a Disney sequel, but a couple more that are coming out. Lilo and Stitch 2. The Lilo and Stitch live action did so well that they've announced that the new one's going to be coming out May 26th of 2028. And The Incredibles 3, which will be released in June 16th of 2028. I've always had the same question. What happened to the Underminer? That was like the big end of movie scene in The Incredibles 1, and we've never seen him. I doubt we're going to see him in Incredibles 3, but I've got my fingers crossed. How about you? It's online tonight. Stay tuned.
At Bon Voyage Earns, we love our pets. We couldn't imagine our lives without them. But we know that when they pass on, we want to treat them with the respect they deserve, because they're family members too. Bon Voyage Earns makes biodegradable, marine-safe urns for the delivery of pets' cremated remains to a beautiful resting place in the Pacific Ocean. Love them while you have them. Give them a proper send-off when it's time. More information at bvearns.com.
There's no better way to bond with your cats than with a special treat. Lick and Lap by Vitacraft is a healthy 5-pack saucy tureen snack full of a creamy paste that your cats are going to love. Free from artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives, it's the perfect snack between meals. Lick and Lap is available at Walmart, your local pet stores, and of course, on their website at vitacraft.us.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. That's 800-439-7851.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go! Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. I think men can be a little stubborn sometimes, where pride gets in the way, and they may want the help, they may not know how to ask. With my traditions, with the family support in line, and just with my mind frame, I was able to turn a negative into a positive. I knew I needed more tools in my toolbox to take care of these little girls that had just lost their mother. It's time for me to be that father that I knew I could be. I think just being that good role model as well, that models good behavior in front of them, going to work every day, coming home and being able to put on that smile. The biggest reward about being a dad is sitting back and watching your kids be happy.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at Fatherhood.
We're on the air live tonight. 1-800-39-online. 1-800-396-6546 is the number.
Well, back in the early days of radio, all they had were jungle drums beating the rhythmic message of traffic and weather from village to village. But did they complain?
Hell no.
Do you hear me complaining?
Hell no, because you got a massive secret race that caused all these problems in the first place.
Exactly.
All right, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday evening just like I am. This is Online Tonight. My name is Max. Use our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system to get that free tech support. Let's make your life, at least technically, more fun, interesting, and usable, and not a frustration. Best way to get in, Broadcast Bionics Caller One system. Use our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE. You can also send me a text, a voicemail, or an email. The text voicemail number, 951-395-1017, and the email address show@onlinetonight.com. Before we jump into our movie review, very excited about it, let me just mention how cool I think the GoV Neon Rope Light 2s are. It looks just like a neon sign from even just a foot away or a few feet away. It's an incredibly shapeable neon light strip with unique bend clips that help you create angles and corners so you can really get that custom style that you're going after. It comes in two different sizes, a 10-foot and a 16.4-foot version. You can learn more about GoV's products by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/GoV, onlinetonight.com/GOVEE.
From Hollywood.
One very important
Wondering where
Hey,
we left
stop
the
it.
remote.
From Hollywood.
One very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Blockbusters, tearjerkers, family fare.
Everything is awesome.
What's worth seeing in the theater and what should you just watch at home?
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Here are your hosts.
Don't ask. My name is Max.
What are you doing in there? I'm Victoria.
All right, so I want to get right into this movie because I'm very excited about it. But we did go to NAB, and I got some cool tips and tricks and things like that from NAB. I am revamping the entire interface between radio automation and television automation, and I made some changes, and I didn't know that that was going to be there, and then I thought it was something else, so I stopped it, and then I had to restart it. But, it's okay. It's going to get way better. I'm very excited about it. It's going to take a month or so to get it all worked out. Let's share with you the movie The Devil Wears Prada 2, rated PG-13, in theaters this coming Friday. Very special thanks to Disney and Jessica and Derek and all the great Gesundheit, all the great people over there for giving us a sneak peek. We were in the theater with the recliners and the popcorn and
the
we got the
big screen.
big screen experience, and we got to see, Anne Hathaway being like 900 feet tall. Well, not quite, but it was very exciting. What do you want to start? I was excited.
Sure. Do you remember seeing the original of this?
I do, but you know what? Okay, that was going to be my advice. Like today, tomorrow, or Friday, before you go see it this weekend, watch the original again. There was only like one or two quick references, but I didn't really realize, what the interaction between Emily and, help me, Anne's character.
Andy.
Should have gotten that. I didn't quite remember. I remember the interaction with the boss and Niall and all that, but I did not remember the interaction between Emily and her. And that did come up a couple times, and I was just like, oh, that's fine. Okay. Whatever.
And if
that was the only bummer for me.
And if you want to go back and catch up, it is streaming on Disney Plus, the original Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max. You can find it.
It's everywhere, basically.
Well, not
Netflix,
not Peacock, not Paramount Plus.
No, but okay, I gotcha. Well, Disney doesn't own HBO Max. That's owned by like Universal or something.
Warner Brothers.
See, or somebody.
Peacock
counts.
NBC Universal.
All right, tell us.
All right. So this is exactly 20 years after the first one came out. And let me just start off by saying everybody looks fabulous. Like they haven't aged at all, practically. They look wonderful. But it does obviously take place 20 years later. And Andy has become a journalist and Miranda is still the head of Runway.
The
And
magazine.
Yep. And what is
Emily.
Yeah, but what's Stanley Tucci's Nigel?
Nigel, yeah, he's
Yeah.
still the assistant guy.
Yeah.
Well, the co-editor.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what his.
He's not the assistant. That's the people who sit out the door.
Maybe the artistic director or
And
something.
she has
I
like
don't
a ton of assistants. Remember, you've got assistant number 1 and assistant number 2, and they're both treated like garbage, right?
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
the structure is very similar to when Andy and Emily were the number 1 and number 2 assistant.
Well, isn't that the issue with legacy media? Is that it's basically the same that it's been forever, and they're a little hesitant to jump into the digital and the shorts and the, right?
Right. But there's an issue with something that happens, something that is in the magazine. They have to kind of regroup to not lose subscribers and advertisers and all this kind of stuff. And so,
I think you can say it this way.
What?
Based on the cancel culture that we are involved in sometimes, or when this was written, it was probably a lot stronger than it might be right now. There's an issue where the people at the magazine were discovered doing something that some people might feel inappropriate, and therefore they were going to be canceled. And now they're in damage control.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And so Andy ends up going to work for them again. She's brought in kind of to save them as features editor, to write thoughtful pieces and to write an apology and craft things to make people like them again, basically. And so, of course, she's put back in the position of kind of butting heads with Miranda, but there's also more at stake because Miranda is hoping to become the head of all of the publishing for the guy who owns all the whole media group that's also owns Runway.
Irv,
yeah. And so there's a lot at stake, and of course we have to bring Emily back into the picture, who is now working for Dior and is one of the advertisers in the magazine and one of the people who has to be apologized to, and they have to give her what she wants to get her to stay. And so all of these people are back together again, and there's some issues with the ownership, and
right,
things happen and all kinds of stuff is put into place, and people are trying to save the magazine or whatever.
We're talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2, rated PG-13, in theaters on Friday. And so you have these new challenges. They still have, the personality issues, but now you have external things, which I don't think we really saw that much of in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the externals where people are going to digital, shorter content. They've got the controversy that they're trying to deal with. Some people still have gigantic chips on their shoulders based on their experience at Runway before. But you still have all the beautiful clothes, all of the wonderful models. I did find it hilarious that there was some PC stuff. Like the head boss there always was very mean. She would throw her coat at people. She would sling insults. Now she has somebody who basically shadows her and says, no, you can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
She started to say body negative, and she goes, no, wait. I know this one. Body positive.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing all these kind of caricatures of the body, shapes, and it was really funny. A lot of guys may not watch this because it is a very female empowerment thing. But there's a couple nuggets in there for the guys in there so that you don't have to totally freak out about it. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I'm going to rate it pretty high, but Miss Victoria, you go first.
Okay, I give it a 4. I like the performances from everybody. I thought they were really well done. I'm not really invested in the story. I wasn't in the first one necessarily either. But I think it is very entertaining, and I really like the characters and their performances.
All right, I guess I had a better time than you did. We're talking about The Devil Wears Prada 2, rated PG-13, in theaters now. This is the kind of sequel that I like because everybody grew up. They have different lives. Some people got married and are getting married, had babies, and all these things, and they moved away from a job, then they're moving back to the job. I'm going to give it a good solid 4.5. My recommendation is go watch The Devil Wears Prada first, just so you can get a couple of those little Easter eggs a little more clearly before you go see The Devil Wears Prada 2. It's online tonight. Stay tuned.
If you're an author interested in turning your works into audiobooks, Narrate Your Own Book is for you. Since 2005, David H. Lawrence XVII has taught 3,000 students the ins and outs of voiceover work, including narration of audiobooks. As an author, your curriculum includes more than the performance and recording aspects of narration. You also learn how to prepare your manuscript to become an audiobook and market it once it's finished. Visit narrateyourownbook.com for more information and a sample class. narrateyourownbook.com.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines, always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-515-4035. 800-515-4035. 800-515-4035. That's 800-515-4035.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex. How did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf.
Ooh! What about the tiny dog? Cat. Owl. Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale.
Yeah, whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov.
Online tonight. Hey, bookmark this.
All right. Bookmark this. Every hour, we try to give you a website that you will hopefully find fun, educational, or at least entertaining. And today's is veteran.com. There's no S at the end. Veteran.com. May 1st is Silver Star Service Banner Day, which recognizes the sacrifices of service people, including those awarded with the Silver Star. And the Silver Star is awarded to those who show distinguished valor in combat. It's the third highest decoration in all of our armed forces. This website is a great resource for information for military veterans, offering tools and resources to help navigate military pay, benefits, discounts, and more. And you can also learn about the different awards and things that the military can get. So that's a lot of fun. Check out veterans.com. Veterans.com. That is this hour's. Where am I at? That is this hour's Bookmark This, brought to you by me. I have teamed up with Swag to the Max to introduce my new line of pirate merchandise, including T-shirts and more. You can find out by you can find all the cool little things that we have, stickers and T-shirts, by visiting my website, onlinetonight.com/store. It'll say Swag to the Max at the top because I partnered with them. They made me a mini store. But if you just scroll down, the first 3 T-shirts there are my pirate line. I hope you'll enjoy it.
Online tonight.
All right, I'm always very excited when people use toys to help others. And I found this story to be very inspirational because I'm dealing with people who have hearing issues and eye issues now as they get older, and concerns about getting eye surgery or cataract surgery or any of these things because you might go blind. And then I heard about this guy, Matthew. I believe his last name is Schifrin, and he is blind, and he has founded a company or a group, maybe a nonprofit, called Bricks for the Blind. And what they do is they make Lego building accessible for people who have low vision. And even if I was completely blind, it would be cool to put together Legos. I would have no idea what I've built, but it would be cool to be able to do that stuff because I still probably would have that creative energy, and I would want to use my hands. I did that. I've always done that from the time I was young. Anytime I got anything, a bicycle, a backtracks, a computer, a big wheel, lawn darts, anything, I was always taking it apart. In the case of lawn darts, I would unscrew the big metal dangerous part from the plastic part. And if I had a hula hoop, I tried to figure out how to cut it and then glue it back together. Bicycles. Some of the times the things didn't work after I put them back together, which got me into a lot of trouble. But anyway, Matthew, as a child, he needed that help to build these Lego sets until a Braille instruction binder allowed him to complete one completely by himself for the very first time. That experience inspired him to create accessible building instructions after the passing of a friend who had helped him. The nonprofit now produces free Braille audio, and screen reader friendly instructions for over 540 Lego sets. That there is amazing to me. I just think that is fantastic. Users can build independently through sorting physical bricks. Sometimes these bricks come in little baggies. Sometimes the whole thing is in a bag. You might need a sighted person to help you sort them out, right? So that's possible. But there are a lot of ways to get assistance. Over 3,000 users worldwide have used this system, including blind children, blind parents, blind grandparents. The system has helped blind builders experience independence, creativity, and family bonding through Lego. Lego itself has expanded accessibility efforts, including Braille bricks and audio-supported instructions, partly because of Matthew's efforts and his lobbying or his advocacy. That's the word I'm looking for. Testers and users report increased confidence and inclusion, especially in family and educational settings. The project has turned Lego building into a shared experience for people who were previously excluded due to vision loss. Lego seems to be in the news. I have this one other article I would like to share with you. Here in Southern California, 2 freight trailers filled with roughly $1 million worth of Lego sets was recently hijacked, or as we would say in the streets, jacked. The shipments were supposed to go from Texas to Southern California. Maybe a warehouse, maybe like an Amazon facility or Target or maybe the UPS distribution and fulfillment center. We don't know where it was going, but it was taken. And the police said that they had reports of these suspicious vehicles, and they tried to stop something that happened earlier in the month, and they didn't. And apparently that one was successful, so they tried again. Well, they found 2 box trucks, and they tried to run away or drive away. And, you know, it's a box truck, so they don't get off the line quickly. They were finally stopped, and it led to this discovery of huge quantities of Lego products. 3 residents in the Southern California area were arrested on charges, and the charges include cargo theft, possession of stolen property, conspiracy. So maybe somebody at the warehousing or on the trains or on the trucking line tipped them off. Don't know. Investigators are still trying to determine what the full inventory was, if some things are missing, or if this is the complete shipment. Officials confirmed the Lego shipment was not intended for one of the branded Lego stores, so this was going to the normal channel. The case is part of a broader pattern of retail theft involving toys and collectibles in the Southern California area, maybe in your area as well. If they are, I would love to hear about it. Law enforcement says organized retail theft continues to be an issue affecting the supply chain and local businesses. So if you're affected, I would love to hear from you as well. You can call our toll-free telephone number using our Broadcast Bionics Caller 1 system, 1-800-39-online, email show@onlinetonight.com, and the text voicemail number 951-395-1017. Don't forget, please check out my merchandise store with the t-shirts by visiting onlinetonight.com/store. If you missed any portion of the show, look for episode number 2105, where you can listen to the audio archive or subscribe to the podcast. Stay tuned.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. Producer and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.